Welcome. My name's Ed, and I'm going to be your host for these Wow Factor travel videos. My wife and I plan to travel the U.S.A. for 30 days starting April 2nd. And we're going to document all of the stops along the way. To give you a little backstory on me, 20 months ago, just about perfectly, I was having some health problems with shortness of breath. All of a sudden came about, and I was having trouble walking up a flight of stairs. So I went to the doctor. They took every possible conceivable heart test, nuclear stress test, lungs. They tested my lungs. They tested to see if I had any blockages in my veins. I came out with flying colors. They tested my lungs, everything. They couldn't come up with anything. So I let it go for a while. And then I decided that I wanted to see the cardiologist. So the cardiologist looked at all of the tests, said they didn't find anything. Everything seemed to be clear. My heart seemed to be good. I had a minor blockage in the heart, but nothing serious. So I waited. And about a month later, on a regular visit to the VA, I sat down for the pre-check before I saw the doctor, young nurse. He took my heartbeat, had a funny look on his face. And I said, "What the heck's going on?" He said, "Just sit here for a minute. I want to get somebody else in." He brought another. They took my heartbeat. My heartbeat was 30. He says, "Wait here." They went out. The doctor came in and said, "We're taking you down to the emergency room." I didn't know what the heck. It was a little scary. My wife was a little afraid. They took me down. The doctor checked me. They put me in an ambulance, rushed me over to Geisinger Health Center in Wilkes-Barre. And the next morning, I had surgery to have a pacemaker implanted. So if it wasn't for my demanding, it would have been passed over. I had a condition called bradycardia, which is basically a low heartbeat. And there's a couple of different things that people get pacemakers for, but it's getting to be very common. But anyway, that's the story. And part of this trip was all planned for last year. But because of COVID and my condition, I said, well, we're not going anywhere. I didn't want to put myself and my wife in jeopardy. So anyway, what we're going to do is try and gear this more to the senior population. Everybody's welcome, to see these places. But I want to do it to the older population, especially those with disabilities or something like I have. Many older citizens I know are afraid. They think their days of travel and adventure are over. I'm going to try to dispel that myth. Most, if not all, of the national parks and monuments make concessions for all forms of disabilities. And I will, in my opinion, highlight which I think are the best and most accessible. I want to be your travel genie. If you had 3 wishes, what places would you visit in the United States? I'm going to try to help you make that decision. We'll be visiting many of the national parks and monuments, along with some great roadside attractions. I'll rate each one with how many wows I think it deserves, from 1 to 10. If this sounds interesting to you, please give me a subscribe and a like. We'd love to have you along on the trip. Thanks for watching, and we hope to hear from you along the way. You're going to hear a lot of wows on this trip.